3 months ago, I did a video about a potato experiment. It was probably not the most well-planned experiment. Would the potatoes do well in a vertical garden? Would they do well at that time of year? Would they do okay planted on this end of the porch? Now there was a little bit of a challenge a week or so ago, and that was a big storm named Harvey. Right before Harvey hit, I decided to break down the vertical garden so that it wouldn't blow over in the wind. And since then, I've been really busy, so it kind of dried out. This tower was stacked 5 tiers tall, all stacked up vertically on the end of the porch. You can see that some of the potatoes are still growing, some of the plants are still growing. But I figure it's time to get the planters emptied. Let's see what happened with those potatoes. And then we can use this tower and this soil for something else for the fall. Now, why did I decide to do the vertical tower experiment in the first place? Well, like I said, I had the seeds. The potato seeds, you know, the seed potatoes, the little potatoes with the eyes growing out of them. I had those. They were going to go to waste. I know the timing was wrong, but it was either throw those away or plant them and see what happens. And I'd rather plant and see what happens than throw it away. So now we have 5 tiers here with soil that's dried out. Should be easy enough to clean these out. Let's go ahead and move this over. And I also just wanted to try something different in the Greenstalk vertical growing system. It's a really unique system that seems to work really well for flowers and other vegetables and herbs. I just wanted to see how it would work with potatoes. Some of these plants are still growing. They probably could still grow another month or so. We have plenty of nice weather still coming. Empty. Did I get any potatoes in this tier at all? That soil looks really nice. This soil will be good to use for other veggies for the fall. Here's the base of some of those plants. That's a seed potato that did grow a plant, but appears, in this case, there's absolutely 0 potatoes in that tier. Let's try another one. This is the empty one. I'll pull these out. This is a baby purple or blue potato. You see there's actually one starting to grow there. So maybe I'm doing this experiment too early. They've struggled all summer. And now maybe they'll start producing, but we're going to get them out anyway. Same story in that tier. There's absolutely 0, not even a baby potato anywhere. Absolutely 0 potatoes. This one over here, I can see a little potato, so hopefully it's a little more promising. This plant actually looks like it might have grown something. Well, that's still the seed potato right there. That could probably still be planted and I could grow more potatoes. I'm going to set that aside. I don't know if I'm going to do it, but I'm going to set it aside and see what we can do with that. There's another one. I'll bet I could put that right back down in some soil and give that another shot. Three tiers, 0 potatoes. I have 2 tiers left. I'll bet some of you are putting money on the fact that I have absolutely 0 potatoes for this entire experiment. Wait, look. I have 1. We're gonna pull another one over here. This one has a few more plants that stayed greener. Here's another one that probably would have produced if I would have left it in, but I didn't. 0. And the last one, there's a few plants here. Yeah, they're looking pretty bad. Yeah, there's some tiny baby potatoes on that, but they're not gonna do anything. And there's one laying on top here. That's a tiny baby as well. I don't know how it ended up on top. There's a tiny baby. Well, there's the experiment. I didn't really expect a whole lot out of this, but I did expect at least a few little potatoes. Not those teeny tiny baby potatoes. I really thought I might get a couple of decent potatoes that I could at least have one meal with, but no. Out of all those 5 tiers, all that soil, that beautiful soil, and really the only thing I have to show for it are a few plants that might actually still grow, and some really little teeny tiny baby potatoes that aren't worth much. So what do you do with all that? Well, since I still have some things that potentially could grow, I figure it's worth another experiment. I'll be using a terracotta pot just because I have it here. It's empty. I'm gonna put a couple inches of this soil in the bottom, more like about 5 inches of soil. Just like that. And I have these potatoes that are still sort of growing. The seed potato still has lots of life in it, and there's some nice growth coming out around the base of these potato plants. I'm just going to put them back down in here. This plant has lots of nice green coming up. I'm going to take this top part off, just break it off, so that those leaves can develop a new plant without being stressed out of trying to feed that top part there. With those being pretty much just laying on top, I'll stick them down in the soil just a little bit. I don't want to rough them up too much. I'm just going to put some soil on top of those, just enough to cover all those roots. I found a new little baby. I'm just going to throw it in. Here we go. We have 4 plants that all have some growth. Maybe we'll get a few potatoes out of this later in the fall. We're gonna put this little potato experiment here, right in this, oh, I got a spider web. Right in this little spot. There'll be plenty of sun, a little bit of shade, right next to the sweet potatoes to keep them company. The sweet potatoes will be harvested pretty soon, I think probably in another few weeks, and that'll give plenty of space here to add some things for the fall garden. This really hasn't been a great gardening year for the Daddykirbs farm. I've had way too many things going on, some of the challenges in the family, and then of course the horse barn that you've seen stagger along, taking longer than it needed to take. But I do have a few things growing in the garden. I'll show you a couple of those. This pepper plant in Luke's garden has been holding on real well. The ducks have eliminated all the leaves on the bottom, but there's some growth going on top. I think we might maybe even get a pepper out of that this year. One tomato plant holding on here. Not a whole lot of hope for that. Hurricane Harvey blew over my centerpiece. And we have a couple of a red and a purple pepper there, and the Tabascos are looking pretty good. And what do we have here? What is this, a surprise? Uh-oh, that is a little showgirl, a little blonde showgirl with her naked neck. That just hatched last night.
Look at the feet.
Fuzzy feet and naked neck. She's gorgeous.
Isn't she cute? So excited.
The jets always fly over just at the right time, or the wrong time, right when I don't want them to. I get all that jet noise in the background. The potato experiment was fun. I didn't expect a lot, but we had some soil, we had a vertical growing system by Greenstalk sitting there, and it was just kind of a fun thing to try out. I think it would have worked had the timing in the year been a little better, so that it wouldn't have been so hot and so dry, the exact climate that potatoes don't like. But we do have 4 plants here in this planter that maybe we'll still get a potato or 2 out of that. It's all really just to experiment and have fun and use what we have and just learn and to share that knowledge. So thank you for being a part of this journey. If you are subscribed, you get the updates, and I do appreciate you being here. If you're not subscribed, you can click that subscribe button to get all of my updates. Give me a thumbs up as well. That lets YouTube know that you appreciate what's going on here on the Daddykirbs farm. Thanks again for watching. I'll talk to you soon.